Entrepreneurs are among the worst at taking care of themselves. Long hours, little time off can lead to both physical and mental ailments. But taking some time to focus on you, on your health, can pay huge dividends. It can mean the difference between having a thriving, ongoing business or having to shut it down. On this episode of Make It Click, my guest today is Tanya Pritchett. Tanya is a master nutrition, wellness, and weight management consultant. Tanya, can you tell us a little bit about what do you see missing when people say, I'm going to start a business and I'm going to learn what I have to do in business, the marketing, the sales, and all that stuff. What do you see missing?
Hi, Christine, and hi, everybody. Thank you so much first of all, thank you for having me as a guest on your Make It Click podcast. This is really interesting because oftentimes people are setting their goals for the year for their business, and the missing link there that really will make it click is their health. Especially for people who, like myself, are solopreneurs, where you're doing everything in your business. And if you aren't healthy, if you aren't at your best, your optimal best, then it can be more difficult to manage your business, especially if you find yourself getting sick or anything, and then the business is on hold until you get better. So the missing piece is really making sure that you schedule in time for yourself and time to manage your health.
And are you finding that people come to you like when it's a little bit too late and they're like close to having to take some time off from their business now? And here too, yes, it is possible to build a business that can keep going if something happens, but for most people, that's not where they're at. So whether their business keeps going or not, their health really depends on it. So, are you finding that you're meeting people that are kind of on the brink of, oh my goodness, I have to do something, or I might have to shut my doors? Where do you see a lot of the people?
Yes, fortunately, I don't get a lot of people who are on the brink of, oh my goodness, I have to shut my doors. Where I usually see people are kind of in that range where they're just really sluggish, they're not able to focus too much, they're not feeling comfortable in their own body, and that can affect their mood, it affects how they operate, how they show up in their business. And so that's where I usually get people where they're wanting to do more in their business. They may not really realize why they're having this disconnect in their business, or they want to show up more, they want to speak more on stages, but they don't feel comfortable with their body and in their body, how they feel, how they look. So that's where I get most of my business coming from, those entrepreneurs who are in that state.
Yeah, and so you say people are not comfortable in their body. So that leads us to that weight management conversation of, how does somebody begin to even figure out what is the right program for them? Or maybe it's not a program, just a change in lifestyle. There's so many things out there to choose from. How do we begin that exploration?
Yeah, and that's one of the things that is so frustrating, that there are so many options. And a lot of times that's one of the number one questions I get is, what diet should I go on? What should I do? Is this the best diet? Is this one working? Should I do keto? Should I do paleo? Should I be vegan? Like, there's all these different questions. Or should I do some type of fad thing? Definitely no to the fad thing. The biggest thing is to realize that everybody is different, and even one own self, you can go through different changes, and your body wants different things depending on what else is going on in your life. Your hormones might be changing, different things like that. So it's important to understand that, one, it's for you to know yourself and know your body and explore different types of foods and different things that can that you like and that can work for you when you're looking to change your lifestyle. Um, I always say that diet's not a four-letter word. It's not a word that is, you know, something that we curse and something, use it like it's a dirty word or anything, because diet by definition is simply the food and beverages that nourish us. And so we want to look at from a nourishing standpoint, and diet, going back to its origin, is lifestyle. It means lifestyle. So we want to take a look at how we are living, and that is the key to sustaining your health and sustaining your weight loss.
Yeah, interesting. You say, we're all different. Not There's no one size fits all program. And one of the things, though, I'm thinking there's one item, though, that when we're looking at what we're nourishing our body with, what's one of the things that a lot of people are neglecting? And it's we're all drinking, well, I shouldn't say, well, many of us drink coffee all day long. Okay. I don't drink coffee all day long, just in the mornings. So, but what is the one thing that we all need to be thinking more about?
Well, I think one thing that everyone um, gets to think more about is really what we're putting in our bodies. So I have my top pillars. So the top things that really the foundational things that I talk about with everybody is making sure you get enough water. Water hydration is super important, because a lot of times when you're not hydrated and you can actually be dehydrated, it might show up as hunger, or it might show up as sweet cravings. And so a lot of times when they'll think they're hungry when they might just need a little bit more hydration. So I always suggest and recommend, okay, drink some water when you're first feeling hungry, especially if it's close to when you've eaten and it's not, you've just finished breakfast or you've just finished lunch and it's not that far from, or it's not that far till your next meal when you plan to eat. Try to just drink some water first and see if that subsides, because it's possible that you could be dehydrated. Most people don't drink enough water at all. And the recommendation is to actually drink half your body weight in ounces. And I know growing up, I always heard, okay, 8 ounces, of 8 ounce glasses of water every day. So that's 64 ounces. But the recommendation is actually to drink half your body weight in ounces as an adult. So that is what to strive for. And most people don't hit that mark. A lot of people don't even hit the 64-ounce mark. So that's the bare minimum to drink every day. And a lot of people don't even get that. So keep your water with you and to sip on your water. That's really one of the big things, because again, your hormones are affected by your sleep patterns. Your hormones are affected by your whether or not you're dehydrated or not. And they might show up as hunger if you're actually dehydrated.
What do you say, though, to the people who say, I don't like to drink water? I love to drink water myself. I have lots of water with me all the time. But is there anything besides just drinking water that you can recommend for those people who really give you the pushback on that one? Is there?
Yes, absolutely. And so it's always best to get some water, like pure plain water in your body. But what I often recommend for people who are just adamant, and then one of those people is my mother. She's doing much better now. Um, but when you're adamant, like, oh, I just don't like the way it tastes, I just can't drink it, is to first try to infuse it with some fruits. So that way it gets you a little bit of flavor, a little bit of sweetness. Things like cantaloupe is really good. Strawberries are really good. Sometimes you can do like lemon or lime with some cucumber and some mint. And that's also the lemon and the lime and the cucumber and mint is also a really good combination for also detoxifying your system and helping your digestive system and your gut health. So that's a really good one too. And then for people who are just really like, oh, I just can't do it, eating fresh fruit itself can be dehydrating. I mean, not dehydrating. Hydrating can be very hydrating because the fruits, they have their natural water in them, especially the water fruits like your melons and your like honeydew melons or cantaloupe or watermelons, and getting fresh fruits, whole fruits from your farmers markets or organic fruits are really hydrating. And then even, you have your coffee drinkers, and coffee can actually dehydrate you if you're drinking it all day long.
Mm.
There are some benefits of coffee depending on the beans and things like that. But tea is also another thing that can help to hydrate you. Like green tea is it can be hydrating, and also herbal teas. So if you can get some herbs, make your own tea with some fresh herbs, or and just doing it that way, and that can also help you as well too. But I really like to start with infusing your water with the fruits, so that way you can start to get some pure water in your body too.
Yeah, that thing when people say, but I drink coffee or I drink tea, and it's like, but it's not the pure water. It does dehydrate the body, and yeah, people don't
Yeah.
don't realize that. So we've been talking here, Tanya, about drinking our water, eating healthier to keep us going. And when you think about entrepreneurs and all the things that we have to do in our business, when a launch doesn't go well, oh my goodness, you have to put out that fire. When connections are lost, it's like, oh my goodness, here's another fire to put out. What's your message to entrepreneurs when it comes to managing their business and their health?
Well, one of the things is to schedule in the time to take time for yourself and to take time for your health. And your health is a broad thing. So one of the things is I specialize in holistic nutrition and holistic health, and that really means that I look at the whole spectrum of your health. So it's not just about weight release. Not everybody wants that, and it's not just about, okay, I need to change a few habits. Is looking at the whole spectrum. So looking at your sleep, which I know as entrepreneurs is sometimes it's like, sleep, what's that? But also just scheduling in that time. So when you're looking at your schedule and you're going through and you're blocking out your time, having maybe a day or even just a few hours in a day just for yourself, some time to take a walk, get outside, breathe deeply. You can do that in between meetings and just kind of take like a few moments to do some really deep breathing, breathing in deep through your belly, stretching your body, getting up, standing up, doing some stretching. So when I talk about movement, it's not just about hitting the gym with exercise. It's also about, those gentle movements you can do throughout the day with some stretching, keeping your body flexible, because that helps to release acid in the muscles and everything too. So that way, all of those things affect how you perform in your business, whether you're just sitting there typing away, or you're up and speaking, or you're giving a presentation. All of those things combine into how you show up and how you present.
I'm glad you mentioned that, about the sitting, and we've been on Zoom for a couple of years now, and wow, that has really changed the dynamics for all of us, sitting for hours on end
Yes.
versus out and about and going to conferences and networking and everything. So yes, it's very important to take that time to get up and move. So, Tanya, do you have something that you would like to share with our audience today?
Yes, I would. So I mentioned that uh, good health, holistic health, um, being there to be able to have energy, have focus, have confidence in your business starts with healthy habits. And so I'd like to give to everybody today the 9 healthy habits you can start today. And they can find that at the link bit.ly, that's bit.ly/the number 9 health habits, all one word. And when you pick that up, then it gives you 9 different things that you can do. Now, don't try to start all 9 today because that would be really overwhelming. But look through the list and see what resonates with you most. What might be missing in your life that you really need to implement, or something that can be stacked on top of a habit that you have already so that it can be easier to implement. And take a look at that and start 1 or 2 today.
Well, thank you so much, Tanya. Thank you for, telling us the important things that we really need to realize about our health, and that if we don't have it, we might not have our business. Thank you
Yeah.
for being my guest on Make It Click.
You're welcome. It's been a pleasure. Thank you